Good morning. All right. Well, hopefully my sound is good here after the glitches the other day. Sounds good. Vasily, thank you. And boy, what a really narrow band on futures until really about a half an hour ago. And then, about an hour ago, really. So somewhere around that 8:30 mark, we really started selling off a bit. So futures have come back to earth, still positive. But this nice trading range in here this morning. So not a lot. Man, if we can have that for the day, it'd be fantastic. We'll see if that carries through. We'll take a look at a bunch of stocks this morning. We have a bunch of things on, bunch of trades on. Market's looking to go at least higher at the open. I am not expecting any big sell-offs anytime soon, although you never know. But we could get at least a little bit of pullbacks here and there. We'll take a look at the overall market after the open this morning, and after we look at a bunch of different stocks. All right. So, you guys got any tickers that you want to grab? Let me know. We'll try to grab some of those. Today we got a bunch of things on, so we're going to keep an eye on things, and I'm going to be a little cautious putting anything new on right now, since we are pretty heavily invested with a good number of stocks. So we've got I think 7 wheel trades, which is the high end of my range. I don't really like to get. I definitely don't like to get really more than 7. 8 might be a max. 5 or 6 is a sweet spot. But we'll keep an eye on what they look like this morning. So we've got about another minute or two before the open. Futures looking up about 11 points at the open. Let's see. We've got our 2 DTE puts on, which is fine. We're going to look to jump in. I'm going to guess we're going to open somewhere around the 39.40 range, 39.40, 45, somewhere in there. We'll look to get an iron fly on at the open, and then we'll look to get a few of our other put and calls on, and then we'll jump into some trades. And opening up some room on the sheet here so that we can trade. Today is the 16th. And we're off and running on the morning. $39.50 looks like the SPX open. Had a pretty good week last week. We'll see if we can keep it going, but $39.50 looks to be the opening range on things. Boy, it's $39.47 right now. So you got to decide, where do you want the $39.45 or the $39.50? $39.50 is where we opened. But I don't know that that's where we stay. But one way or the other, you're going to make it. Someone's going to be wrong. So I'm not sure which one to take on. $39.50 is where I think we should probably go. And I think that's where we're going to make our stand. So $39.50. And we're going to go look at the 50 wides on here. Not a lot of premium. IV very low. on things right now. So 39.50. Let's see where we can get in. Geez, trying to get filled around. I tried 15.30. That's not working. We'll see if we can get filled. We tried 15.20. That's not working. All right, so we'll kind of just hang right here in this 15.20 area for a minute or so as we watch the markets. So we're positive. Let's jump up on the chart here and just take a look at where we are. So we've obviously opened higher on the day, but we've come well off the highs on the advanced decliners. I was trying to get 15.20 for my spreads, and that may not be working. We may have to try 15.15. So still trying to get 15.20. Now we're going to have to try 15.15. And yeah, we got in. So we're gonna keep it that way. I think, I don't know. I went to 39.60. I think the 39. I'm sorry, I went to 39.50. The 39.45 might have been a good play. I don't know if we're going to go higher or not, but let's see how it goes out. But we'll play the game the way we have been. I'm not going to try to guess directions. So 39.50, 50 wide wings, and I got 15.15 for that. All right, so 15.15, and we're going to look to get out around 13.65. Okay, so we're in. I hope everybody's safe due to the weather and able to trade. So if you're in Texas, maybe you can't trade. So. All right. All right, so we're in. I am doing the 15.50. We'll see where we go. We've already dropped the 30, I'm sorry, the 39.50. The 39.45 might have been the better play. Vasily went in there. But I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Looks like things are a little bit weaker at the start, but that was a good credit. And let's take a look at getting in on our spreads. So I'm going to take a look at the 39.05. You know what? Let's go call side right now. Boy, the call sides are tough to get in these days. Man, you just do not have not a lot of credit. I don't really like what I see on the call side much at all. So let's see if we can get in on the calls. Puts, we're still monkeying around. All right, so we got a call order in and we got a put order in. So let's see how things transpire. No fills on either one yet. So on the call side, I'm looking at the 39.75, 40.25. Partial fill. And then it reversed quickly on us. Puts 38.95 and the 38.45. I only got filled on, how many did I get filled on here? Looks like 2 of the 3. So got a, yeah. So I only got filled on 2. I'm only doing 3 contracts. I'm keeping it low right now with this low volatility. This is just some extra added income here. Everything else looks good for the day. And I'm going to sit here and keep an eye on. All right, so we got filled on the puts. Post them even though I didn't get full fills on the call side because this thing went up and then reversed hard, but I'll post them anyway. All right, so we're in, we're ready to roll on the day. Okay, so we're in, we'll let it roll, and we'll see how the day plays out. If we get any kind of a reverse, great. If not, the call side, I only got filled on half of the strikes. And things are selling down quite a bit. So again, 39.45 might have been the best place to be on the call, but or on the iron fly. We'll just let it ride, and we'll keep an eye on things as we are a little weak this morning, which is not unexpected. I waffled. I picked the wrong strike, I think, but we'll see how it goes. It is what it is. However, we have set new highs. So SPX at new all-time highs today. RSI is getting up there, so it's almost to the overbought level. Stochastic's also getting up there pretty high, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. I think this rally is getting pretty long in the tooth, so we're going to keep an eye on it. I'm not getting panicky, but if we pulled back to the 21, which is going to be right here around 38.50, which is about a 100-point drop from here, will not be surprising to me to see us take about a 100-point pullback at some point here, which would give us opportunities to get in on other trades. So let's take a look through our run through our stocks this morning. So we are in on AMD. So AMD, we're sitting here with the 86 put. It's pulling back a little bit today, down about $1, and that's all good. So that thing's in good shape, unless something catastrophic happens. So AMD, we're looking good. We're going to stay in that. Chewy. So Chewy, we're in, and it's off again today, but it's off of its lows of the morning. And we have an in-out trade, which is, and we did the put spread side. In fact, we have a pretty nice gain on that right now. So we can close it for 17 for about 34-cent winner. So let's see. Let's see if we close it for 18 right now. That would be about a 32-cent winner, about a 64% win on Chewy. So we're going to look to get out of Chewy because we're hitting our 65 cents. 20, that would be 30. 60, I don't know if that's enough, but let's see what we can do. And we did. So we closed out Chewy. We're going to take a win. S&P is starting to sell off even more, so it's not making me happy of what we chose to get in. I knew that was probably the move, but I hate to guess direction. All right, Chewy, we're going to close that out for 18 cents, and that's going to give us a nice winner on Chewy. I'll post it here in a minute. It's going to give us a 64% winner in 7 days. Let me post that up. So So we'll buy to close Chewy, in-out trade, 18-cent debit. % winner. All right, we're out of Chewy on that. That's all good. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. We may still get into something else here, but I really want to see Chewy give me a pullback here. So we're also in Crowd, and CrowdStrike we're in, and we have an in-out trade there. We have the 222, 225. We've got a pretty significantly nice winner in there. So that's going to give us about $1 win right now if we close it for more than $1 win. And that's an 81% winner. So we're going to close CrowdStrike in here too. Take advantage of the up move this morning. It's pretty funny. Okay, hang on. All right, so trying to get out of this thing for CrowdStrike. Here, let's see what we can do. It's at pretty much a max winner, and I don't know if I'll get to 250 for it, so I might just go 245. And I want to let that thing sit for a little bit. So CrowdStrike, nice winner on the day so far, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm trying to close out around 245. It's a 250 spread, and I get a max winner at 245. I may not be able to close it for that, so we may have to readjust. But CrowdStrike, super winner. Going to be a big, almost nearly 100% winner for us. All right. S&P is back towards its highs of the open, which is a good thing for us. And so Crowd, we've got an order in to close. We'll probably have to mess around with some strikes on it. We'll see how things shake out on Crowd. DraftKings, one of our staples, pulling back a bit today. We've got a 58 put spread in here. It's all good. We're above that. It's a nicely profitable trade so far. So we're good on DraftKings. Okay, and we got filled on CrowdStrike at 238. So we're going to close that one out today too. And we got out at 238. All right. Which is a 95% winner on CrowdStrike. 238 is what we're getting out. So we're getting out of CrowdStrike here. Tell to close, Crowd. At 238. Credit. In-out trade, and that again, like I mentioned, was a 95% winner. So two really good exits this morning so far. So we've got two nice in-out trades that have made us quite a bit already on the week. So we're already up nicely on the week with those. That's almost 3/4 of our weekly income already generated on two in-out trades today. All right, so let's keep an eye on what we have here. Well, we're still looking at S&P right at the openings of the day. So DraftKings, we talked about, no big deal. That one's actually up today. DocuSign, one of my favorites here, having another fantastic day. We are in DocuSign with a butterfly. So our butterfly was a 270 centered butterfly. We're hitting the center today. We paid $1.33. It's a 267, 285. So we can actually close this for 100% winner today. So we're going to see if we can get out of this DocuSign butterfly for about 100% winner on the move up today. So 2 big moves on DocuSign. We called it back here, loved it. It's getting a little long in the tooth, but I still think it could run up to 290 on here. In fact, Gabe, I think you posted something that he's looking at this thing going to, oops, I clicked on it and then I clicked off. Slack pain. 290 is Gabe's target. And when I look at this and extend this thing out, yeah, I think it's going to put us right up at 290 if we hit back to the top of the channel. So this thing's been in a nice uptrending channel. 285, 290, definite target there. So Gabe's looking at that. Maybe a butterfly on that might be something to take a look at. I'm trying to close out my butterfly that I already have on for about 100% winner here, and we put that thing on. Oh, we just got out, so I'm going to close that today as well. Especially since our center strike is being breached, I don't want to hold too long, so I don't mind taking 100% winner. 264. Okay, so we got a 97% winner. My bad. 97% winner on this butterfly. Sold to close. 265 credit. 94% winner. All right, so close DocuSign. We'll take the money and run, and another good winner. So almost 100%, almost a double. So not too bad. And now we have our entire week in already. So our entire week's gains are already in the books. So good stuff so far. And we're only through a handful of our stocks. So let's take a look at our next stock up on the list, which is, I don't think this is mine. So I think this is a Frank trade. So yeah, this is one of Frank's trades. Big move higher. Good call by Frank in active trader. So I did get in with him on that one. So that's a nice gain as well on that stock. So another pretty nice winner on this squeeze breakout. So you can see this DPW is breaking out today. Fantastic gain. Good call by Frank. So let's take a look at First Solar. First Solar's up today as well. I love the move on this thing. So squeeze, it's starting to come off the base, except for today a little bit weak. But look at this MACD switch. So MACD's definitely been trending up. You got stochastics and RSI moving up. So this is the time, I think, to get in. Look at this support line that dates back quite a ways. We're going to extend this thing out a bit. So let's extend this. Look at this support, man. This has really held well. It held good on Friday. We're breaking back up here. So First Solar, one of our faves that we have on. We have an in-out trade on this one. So we'll let First Solar percolate a bit. Still watching S&P, pretty flat. We're still inside that open area. So First Solar looks good. Probably could use that in Texas right now. All right, so hopefully none of you guys are in Texas, and hopefully none of you guys have lost power and it's freezing down there. But they're having all kinds of power issues in Texas. Wind turbines are frozen solid. Gas or energy costs spiking. So Helion. So we liked Helion. This is one of our put spreads. We actually sold the 16 spread. So we sold this one. So let's take a look at this. So we're wheeling it at 16. All right, so we sold the 16. We're moving up above 20 today. This thing's down to 8 cents. I'm not going to close it yet. I want to get a little bit more out of it. I'll close when it gets to about 3 cents. So hopefully in the next day or so. Laser, L-A-Z-R. We're in this one as well. I called this one over the weekend. I love the way this thing looks, starting to take off. Laser, we are in this. We're just long a call. So instead of instead of me selling something on this one, I'm actually long a call on this one, and it's up pretty nicely. So we've got a really nice winner going on Laser, and it also could be a potential wheel trade for us. Loving Laser. Neo. So here's Neo. I love the price action in Neo here. Everything's gearing up. Stochastic's gearing up. RSI's starting to gear up. MACD's starting to look up. You got to move up today off of the 8. So it held the 8, bounced off of it. Everything's starting to tick up. Good support in here. We got a wheel trade down here at 53. So we sold the 53 put for 90 cents. It's at 9 cents today. We'll keep an eye on that. We may close it. So we have a 90% premium capture already. So we might free this one up to give us some additional credits to play with on the day. So we'll watch where that goes. Bear with me for a second. Okay. Still watching S&P. Pretty flat so far. So there's Neo. QS, QuantumScape. I like it. I really liked the way it looked today, getting a little weakness and entering a squeeze. So this thing's pretty tight right in here. Let's see if this 21 can hold. Here comes the 8 down here. So the 8's moving up. I'm hoping to see this 8 break above the 20. We might have been in a little early, but we did an in-out trade on it, and we're fine right now. We did the 51, 52. It's down to 50. We'll keep an eye. If it sinks too far, we'll bail out. But we've already had 2 really good in-out winners, so I'm not worried about it. And if nothing else, I'm going to want to wheel this thing or do something with it, because I think we have some support areas in here. So this particular support was breached before. It's also become resistance now. And we'll keep an eye on this thing as it's now a resistance line, and then we'll hope to look for this to give us a little bit of a support area in here. So I'm fine with it for now. I think from a wheel trade standpoint, it's very doable. All right, Ride. Ride is taking a dive. So Ride's giving us a little bit of a dive in here. I bought a call on this, which is not my normal. And we just got filled on our Iron Fly. So we're out. Good winner. Let's take a look. 1365. And we get it posted. All right. So let's close the Iron Fly $1.50 winner. Hey, we're out of the Iron Fly. Okay, so good. We're in, we're out. 1 Iron Fly winner on the day. So we've already booked a Butterfly 97% winner, Crowd a 95% in-out trade winner, Chewy a 64% winner, and our Iron Fly a winner already today as well. So we've booked 4 winners, totaling on my books about $1,500 or so. So my normal goal is about $1,000 a week, and we're in. So I get the rest of the week off. Go sit on the beach or something somewhere. All right, so let's go back to ride, finish it up. I did buy a call here. It's taken a dive back down. I liked it here. Everything was pointing up, and then we've had 2 bad days on ride. So we'll see. I may cut ties at some point on this one, but not yet. Rocket. So Rocket having a nice up day today. Stochastics is really looking crappy, and so does the squeeze, but MACD and RSI looking okay. So I think I like this area in here. If we get a little bit of a turn, I think it's another good opportunity on Rocket. However, we own the 19.5 down here, so that's where support is, and I'm happy with Rocket. We'll hang on to that. So that one looks good. Solo. So Solo here has been in a squeeze for quite a while. I think it's really getting tight in here. Stochastics is dropping on it, so it's dropping to a point that I don't like. MACD is getting weaker, but RSI is flattened out. All of these are pretty conflicting, and we're staying inside this channel, so you guys can see the channel that we're in, up and down and up and down and up and down. It is just staying in this slight channel, moving itself slowly higher. We sold the $7 call. It's all the way from 24 to 8 cents now. We have a decent winner in it. I'm probably going to hang on a little bit longer here. We're up slightly today. Let's let this thing percolate a little bit more. Pretty good IV rank on this. So we've got Solo. It looks fine. It's a little more outside of my comfort zone, but I like the price action here. And just watching over here, I mean, you're seeing a lot of negative ticks. You're watching the advanced decliners on S&P heading lower. So things are starting to look a little low, and we're still inside that range. So there's nothing bad here. However, take a look at the 15-minute, which is really getting tight. The 5-minute looks to be turning over, which is not, critical. These are still a little bit apart, but we might get a little selling here for a while this morning. We'll keep an eye on it. Nothing too crazy. The only thing for me was I didn't get filled on all my calls, but I got filled on 2 of the 3. I'm only doing a couple of contracts anymore. Just because I've got so much on wheel trades, and I'm doing fine with the account. So, all right, so there's Solo. There's where we are. It's up a little today. It's given us a nice little winner. Our 2 DTE trade, I may look to put this on for Wednesday now. So let's take a look at this, because I'm not sure that we're not already seeing the highs of the day and potentially tipping over. So this is where I would like to get in on that 2 DTE call. So I'm going to look at what we have here. Okay. So everything looks good to me. I think we're going to put on a 2 DTE call right now. Let's see if we can get filled. It's already sold off a bit. All right. So let me post this in. Could still head higher, but I want to get out of this one that we're in, put a new one on. 216, we're putting on the 218 or 219, I'm sorry. 216. All right, I'm going to take a look at the strikes. So we may do a 2 DTE. I'm going to do the Friday AM expiration, which means I got to be out by Thursday night. So it's something you really have to watch on this thing. So let's put this one on. and we'll get 60 cents. Yeah, I think I got screwed on that one, especially as this market inched higher. It's okay. All right, so a new 2 DTE trade going on. All right, sorry, I know I know that was quiet. So I just put on a 2 DTE trade for those following along here. On this particular one, I used the AM. So I'm doing really a 2 DTE, even though it's Friday AM expiration. We got to close these things on Thursday night. So we cannot let it go. So we'll be looking to get out of that thing on Thursday. So just remember to close. Somebody remind me on Thursday. I'm going to try to put a note in that we got to close this thing on Thursday. All right. So, and we have the other one from this morning. That's looking okay so far right now. So we're at, we're getting closer to it on this up move. So we'll keep an eye on the one from the other day, and so SPY and UVXY. Just have some hedges on. My deltas are fine. Okay, so let's take a look at XLY. XLY. So XLY is our poor man's covered call. Perfect setup on Friday to redo it. So if you weren't with me before, Friday was the day to do this one now. So this is basically an Amazon. Take a look at Amazon. Take a look at what this looks like now, breaking this downtrend line on Amazon. So we're breaking the downtrend on Amazon, breaking back up through. So take a look at Amazon and take a look at Tesla. They look very, very similar, Amazon and Tesla, and then take a look at XLY, which looks exactly the same as both of those together because it is. So that's the XLY trade. It's giving me Amazon and Tesla as a trade. And we're starting to get an upturn on stochastics and RSI. It's still a little weaker on MACD in here. I'm okay. I like the bounce off the 21 here. So it's a nice winner. We sold the 172. So we closed our previous. We re-entered. We sold the 172 for this week, and we own the 140. If we get a big pop, then we'll look to roll that thing out. Otherwise, all good on XLY. I'm not worried about it. So if we get up here, we test the 172, call on it, then it's all good. We'll look to roll it, out and up or something. So here's the 5-minute on SPX. If you take a look at the far right upper hand chart, we're tipping over here, pulling back, which is what we expected to happen. We called that back here. But you're really not seeing a tipping over on the 15. So not yet, at least. You might be starting to, I don't know. But we'll just chill. And we're still negative on ticks. And now we're back to no stocks in the S&P, or, the advanced decliners is even. I should say no stocks. It's a dead even heat. So XLY looks good. We've got a winning day going. And then our last stock that we have on is Zscaler. Zscaler gapped up today a bit, pulled back a tad, everything looks nice for this. Might be getting a little overextended, but we did an in-out trade, which is nicely profitable right now. We'll let this percolate. We got 3 days. We need to stay above the 220 mark. If we stay above 220 by Friday, we're going to get 100% winner. I'll close before that. But we've only got right now a 50% winner. So we're up 60 cents on $1.25. So we're up 50%. If you want to close the Zscaler here, because things are tipping over, take the 50% winner and run. I might let it sit a bit. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the day. We'll keep an eye on the market. If the market really starts to tip and things go south and this goes with it, fine. If not, then we're staying in. All right, so there's a review of everything we have on. Things look really good. We've had a great day so far. Cleaned up some stocks, 2 in-out trade winners. We've got a couple more that are just percolating along. And now I want to look into some of the stocks, either anything that you guys may have that you want to chew on, or we'll look at anything that I talked about in here. LZR. Bear with me for a second. Just going back through. All right, I'm just looking at the stocks I posted the other day. Run, FireEye. I posted a bunch of good-looking stuff that I liked. And let's tackle them now. Hold on, let's see who. Bhavesh, what'd you post? That looks to be correct. Yes, Bhavesh. Yep. So yeah, the 405 is the short, the 410, I'm sorry, the 405 is the long, the 410, 2 short, 430, 1 long. So that's correct for the 2 DTE. So yes, correct. And again, doesn't mean we don't go a little higher, but I don't mind continuing to sell these, even though I think the market's going up. I still think it's overbought, so I think the odds are in our favor to keep selling these 2 DTE trades and then letting them just keep working, even though we're inching higher on the day. If you get into these when the market's at a high, like right now, you can get 70 cents for that thing or more. So keep an eye out. So let's take a look at some of the stocks that we talked about. So we liked AMD. Yeah, a little weak today. I like it here. I think it's a good looking stock. We're already in it. So let's look at Corsair. So I like the way Corsair looks. Everything's pretty positive, although today a little bit of selling, which gives us an even better entry point on Corsair. So I think this is definitely going to be a potential wheel trade as we come down into here. I don't know that there's any real support resistance, but you've got this uptrend line. So if we come down, we're getting closer to our 21. It gapped up today, sold off. And what's it look like? Got in the 5 minutes. So here's the 5 minute on it. You know, gapped up at the morning, has just had a constant sell off on the day. So it's definitely getting a little weaker here, which gives us a nice entry. I don't have anything freed up yet, so I'm not adding another wheel trade, but I do like it. First Solar, I definitely like this one. We're already in it for an in-out trade. I think you have a great opportunity on a wheel trade for First Solar as well. The only thing on First Solar is when are earnings? Earnings are on the 25th. So you have a little bit more time, but earnings are starting to come up on this thing. And we'll see, maybe we'll make a run into earnings on First Solar. I like it here. And we're already in it for an in-out trade, but we'll keep an eye on First Solar as a potential wheel trade. So both Corsair, First Solar, really great looking here. Another weak weaker day, even though everything's moving our direction. This thing's pulling back. Now it's fussing with the 21 EMA. So we're going to keep an eye on FireEye a little longer and wait and see what happens on FireEye. Run having a good day today. So this thing continues to move higher. Run continues to run. So keeping an eye out for Run and where we are on the day. I know I'm talking like really funky here. All right, because I'm trying to look at a bunch of things at one time. So Run looks good. That's been a good run up into here, and I think we still have a little bit more to go. So I still think Run can go further. So I do like it. We also looked at Laser. So Luminar. I like Luminar. It looks good here. I think today it's still playing with this upper Bollinger Band. Everything looks great. I think this pullback today is giving you a chance. So if you're not in Laser with something, I think you have a chance to get in. I'm already in it on a long call, and it's a little different trade than I normally do. So I'm going to look at something else potentially on this, but an in-out trade, a butterfly trade, or a wheel trade on Laser. I like it, and I want to keep playing Laser right now. QuantumScape. So QuantumScape is another one to keep an eye on. I don't think, do I even have it in my list? All right, so QuantumScape here, little pullback today, but it's keeping above the 21. Things look good. It's really interesting in here. So QuantumScape, we already have an in-out trade on this thing. It's dead center of our in-out trade. So if we get any kind of reverse higher, I think it'll be good. You've now got the 15-minute on the S&P tipping over. Volume's not fantastic on it, but the 15 minutes been pointing down and heading down strongly. The 5 minute is the 15 starting to follow now, not mightily, but it's starting to sell off. So that's really good for the 2 DTE trade that we just put on. That'll be good for the trade that we have on already. In fact, you can get a credit for the current one right now. It's bouncing around 0, a couple cents positive, a couple cents negative. If I can close it, maybe just to, we'll keep an eye on it. I may put in an order for a 5-cent credit, see if we can get filled on it. So if I can get filled on a 5-cent credit, I'm going to take the money and run. So we'll keep that thing on and see. If not, we'll let it go. All right, yeah, PMC and AMD today for Vasily. So good. I mean, it's got a nice pullback. I think it's a good trade. So nothing wrong with it. I'm going to keep wheeling this one. I only the reason I do poor man covered calls is on stocks that are typically too expensive to wheel. I try to wheel $100 or less. Typically, anything that's over a couple $100, $200 or more, I'll look to poor man covered call it because it gives me a chance to sell calls without the huge amount of exposure that selling a naked put would give me. So I will keep wheeling AMD, but yeah, nothing wrong with the poor man's covered call. It'll do essentially the same thing for you. All right, so we like to QS. We're going to look at Lemonade today. So Lemonade's just down a tad, but it gapped up. Everything gapped up and then has kind of sold off a bit. But look at this. So you're in a squeeze. It's definitely reversed higher here. MACD's moving higher. Everything's stacked, moving higher. I like Lemonade. I think we got to go long in Lemonade as well. But you got earnings not till 3/1. So we got a couple weeks, 2 weeks till earnings. I think on any potential pullback in here, Lemonade is an opportunity. Maybe to me for an in-out trade, you could potentially drop a butterfly on this one as well. So I think Lemonade is something to look at. It's a little too much for me to wheel. And I don't think I can wheel. I also won't wheel any stocks that don't have weeklies. This one does have weeklies. Earnings are coming up on March 1st. On Lemonade, we could technically, can't really do an in-out trade because it's sitting at a $162.70. That's not in a spot that is a good in-out trade unless we did the 160, 165, which is a possibility. We pay $2.15 and we're already $3 in. So if it gets to 165, that's good. I'm going to let this thing percolate. I'm not going to enter any trades right now with this selling action coming up. So 15 starting to point down a little bit more. The 5 definitely giving us some selling pressure. So we'll keep an eye on where things are on that. So we never did get in on our extra call. I'm just going to let that thing just sit and ride as we sell off now. So things are selling off, still just largely negative since about 9:46. So I'm glad to be out of the iron fly. You've got advanced decliners now negative on the day. So I'm not getting long anything right now, even if I like the setups. So I'm going to let these things just sit and gel a bit. The old Restoration Hardware, I don't like it. I mean, it's possible that this thing is getting ready to move higher, but everything's tipping over, going lower, so I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not looking to get in on this thing as it tips over, breaking the 21, and MACD's now negative, even though the squeeze looks like it could be firing. So keep an eye on it. If this thing bounces right here, then this thing's got a good opportunity to move up in the world. And then let's look at Lee and then a couple others quickly. So Lee's breaking down. I liked the chart. Yes, up to today. I don't like today. So today, this is how quickly it can change. Looks like things are reversing nicely until today. That reversal has stopped and then gone in a different direction. So I no longer like the looks of Lee here. Still might wheel it if we come back down. I think there's some support levels down in here. Let's look out a little bit further on it. I don't really see anything. It's a pivot high. I mean, technically, there is a little bit of support off this pivot high, and we've bounced on it a couple times. So we bounced on it in here and tried to hold it here. There's really not another except this area here. So this particular low, which has been these lows. There. So there is some support. Most of the support's down in this area here. So I'll draw a little support. I'm also going to draw on Lee. Uptrend as well. All right, so you've got an uptrend line here on Lee. Color it in my usual color. So there's your uptrend line. It's banged around on it a handful of times. Didn't quite hit it here. Did hit it here a couple times. We're heading down to it. So we're heading into some really good support areas on Lee. So let's keep an eye on it. And if we can hold, this area in here, this uptrend is be the first one I'm going to watch. Then some support underneath that. Then I may still decide I want to jump into Lee, but not yet. You've got right here a little bit of a day trade or swing trade here. This would be the signal to get long here. It wasn't a really positive signal, but it was the break of the low and then the higher red candle over the other. So this would be a day trading long signal, and we're already off of those lows. So keep an eye on where things are going. All right. So we'll keep an eye on the overall markets, but not a significant downtrend here. These are still apart, and maybe trying to turn its way back positive. I don't think we're getting any major sell-offs anytime soon, but I do expect some slight pullbacks or some, a down day or something to creep in. I got to get ready for some kind of a bear trap, and I want to talk about that briefly in the next 8 minutes. So Bhavesh, yeah, Lee at the VPOC level, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not ultra bullish on this thing anytime soon. Let's look at TAN. So let's look at TAN solar stocks. Look at this uptrend. It's a pretty steep uptrend into here. This was the area to get in. It's bounced up. We got another little opportunity here. I do like TAN here as well. So I think TAN is a good opportunity to do something in. So I think we can play TAN. Let's take a look at where's ARK. So ARK taking off today. So ARK is now hitting all new highs. Today's another new high. I liked it in here. I think this recent kind of selling was good. I loved it here. It's a little gone now. I don't seem to be able to get into this thing. I missed my opportunity here and here. So it will come back down to the 21. At that point, I'll get long ARK and do something with ARK in there. And then WIN and XL. So let's take a quick look at XL. I like XL here. Looks like this could be popping through the squeeze. So I like XL a lot. Bhavesh, I think this is one you've looked at, or you might be in. So I think you're the one who got me looking at it to begin with. But you might be starting to get this Bollinger Band opening up here. Everything here to me is looking good. So I like XL in this area to do something with it. And very high IV. So getting long, I probably would not. The only thing I don't like about XL is that I don't have weeklies, and I typically won't trade anything that I don't have weeklies in. It means I just don't have enough liquidity to get in and out of something. So without weeklies, it's not something I typically will trade. So we're going to ignore that one. And then UAL, I called this one a little bit yesterday as well. Look at the Bollinger Bands expanding. UAL could be off to the races along with a few of the other airline stocks. WIN breaking the new high. I love WIN. It looks great here. So I think WIN is strong in here. I think Carnival Cruise Lines super strong. I think and Carnival looks the best of the two cruises. Norwegian getting tighter. It's got earnings. This is already gone. Look at this is a perfect setup, bouncing off the 21 EMA, moving higher. Everything is geared up for a run up into the mid 20s and breaking this downtrend line. So now you've got an uptrend going on it. So I like Carnival Cruise Lines here. I think you could definitely wheel this thing at 20 right now. I'd be pretty confident in this as a new support level here, just below the 21. All right, and there's something else I want to I want to look at Riot, which is just bananas, and then Tilray, which is very interesting. So Tilray continues to, after this stupid run, which makes no sense. I do rather like Tilray. The only problem is you got earnings coming up here tomorrow after the market. So we're going to wait till earnings are over on Tilray, and then we'll see if we want to get back in on Tilray. And then Mara with the Bitcoin stuff, it's just that and Riot are bananas. I think you can do all kinds of stuff with those if you're aware of the risks that you have. And then the last thing is Boeing, which has been outstanding for us so far. So we did Boeing as a poor man's covered call, and that thing looks great. So Boeing is down a little bit on the day. Been a nice gainer on Boeing. We've already made $3,000 on Boeing here in about a week or so. And then Apple also, I did a poor man's covered call in an IRA on Apple. So having a good day here as well, and we'll take the gains. All right. So there's where we are. That's a review of everything I got. I got nothing else for you. It's almost 10:30. We'll give you guys a few minutes. If you have any questions, pop them in here. Our put spread looks good. Our call spread looks good. We didn't get filled on the one call, but it's okay. We got 2 out of the 3 shares. I'm only doing a couple contracts anymore on these things, and I'm just picking up extra cash on these. So they've been a good bonus, if we hit all 3 on a good day, we can definitely pick up an extra $1,000 or so on a daily basis, which is nice. And the wheel trades are really funding everything that we're doing, and those in-out trades have been super profitable. So we'll keep an eye out. So anything that you guys want to touch base on? Zynga. And all right, so just coming off of a new high on Zynga right after earnings. Here, squeeze fired. I mean, this was the spot to get in. It was back here, even though you had earnings, and it ran. It might be getting tired to me. The squeeze is getting long. Doesn't mean it can't go on for a little bit longer here. So we still may have some more uptrend, but for me, it's getting tired now. You may have some support around 11. So I don't know what the trade is on it, but it's low price. You can certainly take a winger on that thing. Let's take a quick look at a few watch lists here, see if we see anything that we like on a watch list. Eventbrite, that's a nice move today. You got to like the looks of Eventbrite. Nordstrom's, a nice move today as well. Looking at Nordstrom's. RCL, Royal Caribbean, looks pretty good as well. I like Carnival, but Royal's not bad looking here. Stitch Fix, I think this looks pretty good. I don't like the squeeze part, but I do like the MACD, RSI, and stochastics move up, and the fact that we're bouncing up to 21. So I think Stitch Fix looks good here on the scanner. Suburban Propane, don't know anything about that. AT&T looks really good. So AT&T looks good. You got the reversal on the swing. You've got the positive MACD now. You've got RSI piling up. You've got stochastics continuing to move up. AT&T looks good, breaking the 21. So I think you got AT&T looking good, and you've got a break to the new highs of the day on SPX. So this is completely reversed the selling part, moving higher on the day. So we'll see how this affects our butterflies for today. We're at 39.55. So as soon as this thing hits, if it hits 39.55, we'll have to keep an eye on this butterfly as we move higher. Now, it could start to really potentially look decent, but keep an eye on today's 2 DTE butterfly. But it's moving into the fly. So we'll keep an eye and see if that thing can go positive for us. So there's where we are. Takeda Pharmaceutical, 10 cent is gone. And then US Steel looks really good. I don't know if I can trade US Steel. I think it's against my belief system, but let's look and see what's fired on the squeeze, if anything. So what's firing on the squeeze today is Home Depot, potentially, but it may be firing the wrong way. It's got earnings coming up. Anyway, McDonald's. And now McDonald's is part of that XLY trade that we have on. So McDonald's is the Home Depot and McDonald's are the two other main components of XLY on top of Amazon and Tesla, which is why I love it. Today, you've got a squeeze fire. MACD, everything's moving up. Look at McDonald's go. This thing could be taken off in here. So McDonald's looks really good. Squeeze is firing on McDonald's. Mosaic, squeeze fired today, but earnings are coming up. Solar Edge Technologies, again, this is why I like TAN. I think TAN, you can get into solar without worrying about earnings and everything else. And then Spotify, squeeze fire today, blasting off. Spotify having a great day in here. So these squeeze fired plays, McDonald's looks good. You know, Spotify might have gone too much, too quick, but I think a butterfly potentially in spot as you're just firing here. I think a butterfly in Spotify might be a really good opportunity. And then we'll keep an eye on Airbnb as this thing moves. Here, Afria, it's a little too crazy for me. Blink, though, I like this one as well. There's so many stocks out there to like. I don't know how you can't find stuff to trade. Beyond Meat looks good. Carnival, I really like it here. It's a good, I think, a cash secured put opportunity. Cronus, again, another weed stock there. Fossil, I'm going to Fisker, another one. That one's gone. Fubo, TV. I think this one's coming down to earth a little, so I'm giving it a little bit of time. GameStop, if you bought it over 100, it's at 51, so sucks for your timing. Gap looks good. Looks good. IQ, Mara, we already know. Norwegian Cruise Lines looks good. Here as well. So Norwegian, did we just look at that and that didn't look good? And it looks good. Neo, loving it. Overstock, just on a rocket ship. Now Palantir, here's an interesting one. We're not in Palantir right now, so this one we closed out at Wheel Trade. So we're not in Palantir. Big sell-off heading into earnings. So you get the earnings coming up. Was it this morning? So earnings this morning. Lost more than expected, was expecting a slight gain, lost more, selling off here. So Palantir coming back to earth. This could be an opportunity to wheel. I'll give it a day or two to shake back out. If we get another down day, I'm liking it. I think there's some support, maybe down in this area on Palantir, but keep an eye on Palantir. And then Plug, it's got earnings coming up on the 4th, so you have a little bit of time. I like Plug. I like the way it looks here. We're not in it right now, but we have been in and out. And then Peloton, I like it as well. So I think Peloton is entering a squeeze. Everything is ticking up a bit. This pullback today is perfect. So I really like Peloton here. I think there's all kinds of support in this area on Peloton. So I think this is a good spot on Peloton for people to get in. All right, so there's a lot of stocks, a lot of things to look at, some fantastic things out there. I probably won't put on any wheel trades unless something comes off here today. We'll just keep an eye on how things go, and we'll check back in with you guys in Slack. So have a fantastic rest of your morning. And we'll touch base with everybody in Slack. If there's anything exciting, we'll get back on. Okay. See you all on the Slack channel.